Parlez-vous français? Hello and welcome to Bilingual Family TV, the place to be if you want to create meaningful relationships with your child while learning Spanish. So, Parlez-vous français is probably one of the only full sentences I can feel confident saying in French. And that's pretty sad given that I took 5 years of French language classes in high school and in college. So I want to find out why this is happening, because I'm sure you have also taken 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 years of Spanish and still do not feel confident to speak the language. So let's dig into this. Reason number 1, I didn't have an intrinsic desire to learn the language. I feel like the main reason I wanted to learn French was to be smarter, to look sophisticated to other people and be able to brag about the fact that I could speak 3 languages. But in reality, I didn't have any French friends, didn't have a desire to visit friends or anything. So I think that's the number 1 reason, is that I didn't have an intrinsic desire to learn the language. And that may be the case for you too. So we need to find a reason why we want to learn the language, whether it would be to preserve our culture, or because we want to help our children preserve their culture, or speak the language of our husband or wife. So find that intrinsic need and really identify it so that you can use that to push you forward into the language learning. Reason number 2, the classes were boring. All my classes were vocabulary based, grammar based, and very, very boring. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things. If you're not enjoying the process of learning the language, it's really hard for it to stick. So I don't know about your language classes, but my language classes were pretty boring and vocabulary based and grammar based. So there wasn't really any experiences that I can recall to remember a certain word or a certain phrase that were fun or real and meaningful. It was just a list of vocabulary words. And again, I can probably think of all the French colors, all the days of the week, the numbers, all these just simple words and simple facts that I memorized, grammar rules, but I still don't have the ability or the comfort to produce the language. And the final reason, reason number 3, is probably that I don't use it. And that kind of ties to reason number 1, not having anybody to talk to, or any friends or any reason for using the language. So my 3rd reason is that I don't have a need to use it on a daily basis. So we need to find a way to create that need to use it on a regular basis, or to use it during your routines. If you do have that intrinsic desire to learn the language, whether it is because you want to create a relationship with someone who speaks the language, or you want to have a secret language that you speak with your child, whatever it may be, once you have that, then you can use it on a daily basis. So that's what I was missing with French. And in reality, those years have come and gone, and I don't really have any desire to learn it anymore. And I'm okay with that. I've stopped feeling bad for it, because now I know that the reason I don't speak the language is because I don't have a meaningful person to talk to, and that's the main reason. So none of the others fall into place because I don't have that initial reason to back it up. So my challenge to you is to think about your own language learning experience through high school or college, and see if you can find which one of those reasons is keeping you from speaking the language. And secondly, if you do have that intrinsic desire to learn the language, then we just need to work on 2 and 3, which is stop using vocabulary list and grammar-based learning and start using it on your everyday routines with your child in a fun way. So I hope that this was helpful. Please leave comments below if you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos. And remember that second language acquisition is all about relationships. Adios!